Okay, so I just kind of wanted to come on here and say that in my most like weirdest moments, sometimes like individuals have like encouraged me by saying like scriptures, and those have been wonderful. But like in those trying moments that those individuals actually, it felt as if it was actually kind of like insulting, because it was like, yes, you have the word to kind of stand upon, but like that word is an encouragement, a foundation to kind of get you through certain moments, but also like that is foundational, but like it also kind of made me feel good, but like it also kind of made me kind of feel as if a person kind of just came and slapped you in the face, really, to kind of say, hey, like I went through X, Y, and Z. And then like the person's like, the joy of the Lord is your strength. And so I just kind of, and like, yes, the joy of the Lord is my strength. But like at the same point, like you would want individuals to kind of go there with you to where it's like, hey, I have compassion towards you. I feel compassion towards you. I know where you've been. This is what I went through, X, Y, and Z. So it's like, for example, like, let's say, like one of my testimonies is the fact that like, I kind of, I ended up being, this is like a, in a nutshell or whatever, but like I ended up kind of learning that like I was a side chick and I didn't really know at that point. And so like once I learned of that, then that's kind of when I received Christ. And then that's when I kind of left the relationship. And obviously like we both weren't really fully truthful and honest at any point in that regard. And so like when we both weren't truthful and honest, then we both kind of were like not truthful and honest. And so once I ended up finding that truth of some sort, then I just was like, hey, like, I'm going to have to leave the relationship. And I just kind of left it at that. I ended up going to a church in North Hollywood. And then I ended up basically receiving Christ. And so like my testimony is longer than this, but this is like the that point to where I just was like, hey, I need to go and get to know who Christ is. And so like once I said X, Y, and Z, did X, Y, and Z, I left the relationship and just kind of didn't really look back at that point. I did end up having like a person, like, because this was right before Valentine's Day. And so like I ended up having that relationship, or not relationship, but I ended up going on that Valentine's date. And then that person ended up basically, the ex, whatever, he ended up texting me and saying, hey, like, happy Valentine's Day. And I just was like, oh, thank you. And so like he said happy Valentine's Day to me. And I was very thankful of that. But then like, but then afterwards he ended up, I ended up saying, hey, well, are you going to take your girlfriend, the one that I was apparently a side chick of being, are you going to take that person on a date? And then that person was just like, no, I'm not going to take the person on a date. He was like, no, I'm working. And so like when he said that, then I kind of basically took a step back and I just went on that date. But like the date was, it was kind of like I just kind of didn't really go on dates after that, really. I didn't really feel like I would want to go on dates except around individuals, or just being around individuals who truly are caring, truly are quality, truly are loving towards. Because like when I went on that date, it just kind of felt very superficial, and it just felt as if he were flaunting his money, flaunting his stuff, flaunting his cars, and showing me all of his stuff. And I, which I actually really love, but that was the only thing that we talked about. And so like it wasn't really something like what is your passion, like what is your goal, like what is something that you are passionate about. Like what like makes you you, like who are you? And so I kind of questions like that, like who are you? Because like if a person can't really say who they are besides what they do, then like then how could they really be in the relationship? Because those individuals will be basing it upon what they do rather than who they are. And so individuals end up buying, loving the fact of what they do rather than who they are, loving the fact of how much money they make rather than who they are. Loving, granted, money is good, money is a tool, but those individuals end up loving those aspects, loving those things rather than loving the person. And so it's like when you love the thing of a person, that if a person were to say, hey, like, let's quote unquote, like, let's let me not buy you X, Y, and Z any longer. Let me not get this for you any longer. Let me not do this for you any longer. Like, would that kind of take away your love for that individual? Like, was that the reason of why you love that individual? Or was it because of what they could provide you, or what they could offer you? Or was it because you fell in love with who they are? And so it's like if you fall in love with a person of who they are, then you fall in love with that person. But then if you were to basically fall in love with who they are, but then if they fall in love with what you do, or who you are, what they think you do, or what you're on the rise of doing, because like I don't know, like you just kind of fall in love with those things rather than the person themselves. So I guess I would just ask the person, like, who are you? Like, how would you describe yourself? And like because sometimes in describing yourself as that, then it wouldn't really be the things that you do that kind of although what you do is so amazing, such a good skill, such a good talent, such a good all of those things, and those individuals may have certain things of things that you may aspire to have, right? But like ultimately still, like even if you are to kind of be in those relationships, that that you would still